Hello everybody, welcome back to Destiny 2. Today we're going to be going over a pretty standard Warlock build. This is just an updated version of the Speaker Sight build, which I believe is still one of the best builds in the game for not only group content, healing everyone with your grenades, but also just for solo content. So we're going to get right into this, starting with the subclass. For the super, you can run either Well of Radiance or Song of Flame, depending on the content. A lot of content nowadays you want to be running Song of Flame, though once again Well of Radiance is just a overall good pick for just standard play. For abilities, you can either use Phoenix Dive or Healing Rift. Phoenix Dive is really nice for if you want to use Helion, or if you just want a quick heal, and then Healing Rift is good for like sustained healing, maybe a little bit better for like higher end content. For the melee, we're using Incinerator Snap. This is just the preferred better melee. You can ignite with one blow. Obviously, you want to use Healing Aid for Speaker Sight. This is a support build for both yourself or for allies, so you want to use that. For aspects, we're going to use Touch of Flame. This will give healing grenades improved cure and restoration. And then if you have heat rises, it will apply restoration to nearby allies as well. For the other aspect, it's up to you. If you want the extra damage, Helion is very good. This is, we'll just lob, mortars and ignitions and all that. This is pretty decent. I like using Icarus Dash for most higher end content, which may seem a bit weird, but the movement is unparalleled. You have good healing and you can have good damage if you're in a well or using Song of Flame, and if you know how to do damage rotations and stuff. So just having that extra movement to get places faster and to avoid damage, it's so nice. For fragments, these change up a little bit. I'm going to start from the kind of the ones I always keep, and that'd be Ember of Syrian. So defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. You'll be scorching with your melee, and then depending on your primary, I use Ember of Solace. So radiant and restoration effects applied have increased duration. We don't use Empyreans, so this is just nice to have up all the time for increased duration on your restoration and radiant, just because, like I said, kills won't refresh. Then the ones that another one, Ember of Benevolence, applying restoration, cure, radiant to allies, and grants increased grenade and melee and class ability regeneration for a short duration. This is really nice. Obviously, if you are healing everyone with grenades, you're just going to get to spam grenades out even more. Then the one that I have on Ember of Mercy for right now. So this is when you revive an ally or pick up a fire sprite, you grant restoration, or you get restoration. So this is just another way of getting more heals if you're in group content, or just picking up fire sprites, which you get pretty often. This one I would change out for torches when this artifact goes away. It's just really easy to get radiant now through getting multiple precision hits. So I just like, or kills. So I just like Ember of Torches for now because, Ember of Mercy for now because I don't need torches. For the exotic, obviously we're using Speaker's Sight. So healing grenades spawn a turret and will heal allies occasionally, which will also spawn an Orb of Power now when you heal allies. Then for the mods, pretty standard stuff. I have a special ammo finder and a strand and solar dual siphon, just the weapons I'm using. I have radiant light for group content. For the gauntlets, I have impact induction, so this is just to get my grenade back even faster, and to get my class ability back even faster. And then a melee font because my melee is pretty low. Any type of resists for the content you're playing on the chest piece. The boots, I have a weapon font, recuperation, and absolution. Once again, just to get a little bit of health and ability back. You could also probably swap these out for something like a surge if you like, for more like endgame content or raiding. On the bond, I am using time dilation for the fonts or surges, bomber, and distribution. So yeah, that's basically it. Stat wise, so this is kind of an interesting build for stats because you can start this pretty early on even without tier 4 armor. You don't need anything higher, depending on the super as well. You don't need anything higher than 100 because the ability cooldown and the energy you get caps at 100. The only thing that goes up past 100 for grenades and the super is the damage. That doesn't affect the healing or anything of the grenade. It's only the duration, or sorry, the cooldown that you need to worry about. So at 100, that's capped. It won't go any higher, any lower. I'll show you that right now. I'll put on another, here, I'll show you it. So it's at 42, 190. Then if you put on another stat mod here for grenade, 42, 190. The only thing that's going up is the damage, which once again, you don't need to worry about. So that's really nice. And then the same deal with the super energy will cap at 190, and the only thing that goes up is the damage. And if you're using Well of Radiance, you don't need to worry about that. Now, Song Flame is a different story, though a lot of times you're not necessarily using that for the damage, it's more for the stagger, so it's argued that you don't necessarily need more than 100 for that. That stat's more for stuff like Golden Gun and the Titan. Why can't Missile Titan, whatever it's called, good lord. Then the more important stat, in my opinion, for a build like this is after you get your grenade up to 100, that's probably pretty mandatory. Obviously you want the fastest cooldown for that, is your weapon stat. This dictates your weapon damage and how much ammo you get. So it's pretty important, especially for this build where you're not really focused on ability damage. It's more about survivability and then damage with your weapons. So this is really good to have as high as you can get. I ideally want this as close to 200 as possible. It's kind of hard to do that in the current armor system because there's no super and weapon stat combo armor. So hopefully we'll be getting that, and with a tertiary and grenade. So we'll see how that goes. But right now I have about 150. Then for weapons, it's basically activity dependent. When I'm just running most content, I'm running Mint Retrograde, either Sunshot or the Your Tide Apex, and then your Edge Sword. But like I said, it's flexible. Use what you need to in any type of content. I will say something like a demo weapon in most content will be really nice, because obviously Final Blows will get you grenade energy. So something like demo and incandescent for like lower end content, or just something with a lot of trash mobs, will be very nice. I don't currently have that role. I only have demo Burning Ambition, which is good for like something like Starfire Protocol, but not so much for this build. I also just have the one I'm currently running is just Heal Clip and Chaos Reshaped, so not the greatest, but it does the job. And if you have good stats in your grenade, it won't matter as much. So yeah, that's basically it for the build. I'm gonna run a solo thing now. So like I said, this is definitely at its best when you are in high-end content with people, though it works splendidly inside of solo content. So I'm gonna show you that now. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I hope you try it out. I mean, it is pretty standard build, just kind of updated for the modern stat system, armor system. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys agree kind of with my thoughts on the statting and all that. So yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.
There's few guardians I would send without a fire team, but you're one of them. Don't make me regret it.
We appreciate the confidence, Safe. We won't take any unnecessary risks. I hope.
Rip.